Hello friends, this is Julie Tillman. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing a emboss resist technique with sprays and inks to make these beautiful artist trading cards, or ATCs as they're commonly known. I'm starting out with a 6x6 piece of mixed media cardstock, and I am embossing that with clear embossing ink onto the paper, and then I'll be adding some clear embossing powder and heat setting that. This stamp that I am using today is the Latte Love fall background from Not Too Shabby, and I believe that is still in the shop. And it is just a great one. I absolutely love the pumpkins and the coffee. So I'm just going to heat set that now so that we can get our good embossing on there and make sure everything is dry and done and fully embossed. And we're going to start our spraying. So I have salvage patina, broken china, and crackling campfire distress spray stain. And you can use any kind of dye, ink, or spray that you want for this technique. I just had these colors, so that's what I decided to go with. I wanted to kind of match the pumpkin spice latte palette of teal and orange. So that is one of my favorite fall combinations. So I'm just spraying on that ink and getting a base layer of color down in just different areas of the background. ATCs are 2.5 by 3.5 inch cards, so I'm going to be able to get 3 out of this background and then have some leftover scraps for other cards. Um, so now I'm going in with the broken china, and then I just add some water to move the ink around, and then heat set, and I blot off with my towel as needed to lift color and keep things dry and not too splotchy. If you get a lot of ink in one area, it's going to get a lot darker there, so you just want to watch out for that. Now I'm going in with the orange, and here's where the magic really happens, because this is a dye ink and they're water reactive. Those inks are going to reactivate, and you're going to get this nice blend between the orange and the teal. And I just love that look. I think it's just the perfect fall uh, grunginess, I guess. I guess that would be what I would call it. I just love the look of it when the two colors meet and they kind of blend out. So now that I have the background, the color that I want, oh, I guess I decided I needed a little more of that beautiful grunge in there, a little bit of green almost in some places. And now that that is dry, I am just going to use the leftover ink from where I was spraying and splatter that on, or smoosh it into the ink. I added a little water to reactivate it, and then I'm just tapping it randomly and heat setting and blotting off. And then I have some distress spritz that I'm going to be using a fan brush. I just watered down my fan brush, wet it, I guess, with water, and then dip it into that spray, and I'm just splattering it on to my heart's content, just tapping that brush. I like how the fan brush really allows you to get kind of a good dispersion of the ink. So now I'm going to dry this real quick before I start my splatters, I think. Yes. Okay. I did do it. I remembered. So you want to do your heat setting in between colors, so you're just not going to have a bunch of brown splotches when they meet. So I'm going in, if there's any colors that get too concentrated, then you can just like spread them out with your finger with a brush, and you can water them down and blot off. Anywhere where the ink collects in a big pool, it's going to get darker there. So you just want to kind of watch that and just keep adding splatters to your heart's desire. I really love the splatter, so I just keep going. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments if you like splatter or if you like to keep it more clean look. So now that I have that dry, we are going to cut these down. So I'm going to cut these into 2¼ by 3¼ inch panels, and I'm just deciding which portion of the background I want as my ATC background. So I'm cutting those down, and then I can use those extra strips as needed. So we've got those at 2¼ by 3¼ I'm going to bring in some Distress Oxide ink and just add some brown around all of those edges just to give it a nice little rustic look. I like the look of it. And don't worry about covering up the white embossing, because you can always just come in with a towel or a Swiffer cloth or something and just wipe over that, and that the emboss resist will be magic, and you'll have white embossing again. So now I am going to add these to 2¼ by 2½ by 3½ inch cards. That is the finished size of an ATC, and I am in a swap. So for the Paper Escape, which is a holiday retreat that I will be teaching a class at in October, and 3 of the 4 days are completely free, and the 4th day is a bonus day, and there will be lives, and I will actually be live at the wrap-up party, and we'll be doing a fun project there. So that will be a lot of fun. If you want to register it, I will leave a link below in the comments. And there are still a few grab bags that have some really awesome swag, some a little bit of de-stash items from the instructors that we donated, and a sampling of a couple class kits that the instructors made up for their classes, and I made some for those grab bags as well. So you might get one of mine. So now I just used some stamps from the stamp sets in the box of the month. This is the September box of the month. I just absolutely love it. And that Fall in a Mug, I stamped it in Crackling Campfire Distress Oxide, and then I embossed in clear. And I am just adding some Copic colored images that I stamped from the stamp set. I just love these acorns, leaves, and coffee mugs, and so I just stamped a bunch, colored them with Copic markers to match this palette, and I am just going to add these to these cards, adding the cups and leaves with a little bit of dimensional foam just so they pop up a little bit. I can't not add dimension to my cards, so even the ATCs get a little bit, but this is a thin adhesive foam, so it will still be able to get into a artist trading card sleeve if people want to store them that way. Anyways, those are the finished cards. I made 3 of them. I am so happy with how they turned out, and I used a little glossy glaze for those pumpkins so they could shine. And now I'm just deciding, oh yes, I need a little bit of more sparkle. So I'm adding some pumpkin spice enamel dots from Not Too Shabby, and I just absolutely love these. I think I'm on my 2nd package already and just loving them. They're just a beautiful color. So there are the finished cards. I hope you enjoyed this technique. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you on the next one. Goodbye.